Hey, everybody, welcome to the Tech Shaman. Hey, Anthony, what's going on, buddy?
I am so excited because we're both on the screen at the same time at the intro,
Yay!
and
We fixed
I
it.
didn't get to like make
Yay!
faces. I didn't
I
know I'd
know.
be here. Why don't I didn't get the memo? Yeah,
You didn't get the memo.
I
That's
didn't
okay.
get the memo.
It's all
Uh,
right. Hey, so how you been?
yeah.
We've had it's been a busy 2 weeks.
Oh
Holy
my God, yes.
crapola.
It has been insane. There's so much going on in the tech world
Ugh.
and so much going on in our own businesses trying to manage the tech world.
Yep.
It's just been nuts. But I did find time to get a haircut.
Did you? Oh, me too.
Yep, a lot of them actually. Shave and a haircut. Yeah.
Or two. Get it? You have a haircut. Or two. That's an
Yeah.
old thing.
Yeah,
So,
whatever.
hey,
Okay.
not that it's on the list that we have, and we have a good list today. Boy,
And what would be the
Elon's
point of starting with something that's on the list?
right. That's no fun. Elon's being everybody's savior, like he's bringing back the astronauts.
No, no,
And
no, no, no. He's Nazi
oh, is
and
that what he is?
he
Oh, hold on.
sells swastikars and he's evil and oh, now you're making fun of a reporter. Uh,
No, that would be more
sorry.
like this,
Yeah, which is actually a very good representation of many left-wing reporters.
right?
I, I
They
I
have
like to think of
spasms a
them not
lot.
as journalistas is the word I use because they're like the Sandinista, rebels, hardcore
Oh,
leftist rebels,
yeah,
and yet these are
yeah.
journalistas,
Journalistic.
and
I've never
so
heard that term. That's pretty
journalistas.
damn
I
good.
made it up, so that's why
Good
you've
for
never heard it.
you. That's awesome.
Yeah, except no, I would love it if you had heard it because then my words would be,
Well, no, hashtag
resonating around
journalista. We'll
hashtag
start trending
journalista.
that bad boy.
There we go.
You got to
No,
make, but you got to
Elon
make a
has
definition
done.
for it.
Oh yeah, because it has to be
Wikipedia.
explained.
Yeah, I know.
That's why. Yeah, right. Like they would ever print anything by unbiased.
Right.
Um,
Oh
Yeah,
God.
so he's knocking the cover off the ball all the way around and
Yeah.
he's being demonized like hell for it.
Yep.
But these are really people that have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
I was so
The
hoping.
things they're arguing for are
Right.
ridiculous.
I was
Yeah.
hoping. I was really hoping that the image that I shared in the group was really real, but it's not. But okay, it's
Yeah, the jet.
I think we
Yeah,
made
that would have
sure
been really
we didn't put
cool.
that in there at all. But it was really. I'm
No.
like, oh no way! And then all of a sudden, hey, did you see the new Tesla though?
Yes, the new
Oh
3.
my God!
It's so
The new
sleek and
actually,
streamlined and
and the new truck.
the new truck has me really perplexed because it actually looks like a classic
I'm
truck.
that I'm that close. I'm
I
that close.
understand you want to
That
pull the
close.
trigger on this thing, but
Ugh.
wait and buy one used.
Oh,
Uh,
I want the new one. But but then,
no,
so this is what's funny. I watch it and I'm like, I'm not a big electric guy, and you know that, and I've made it very
no,
clear that I'm not.
it's hard
Now,
to be.
it's now if I didn't have to pull production trucks or trailers and campers and stuff like that, okay, I could do it, right? It wouldn't be a big deal for
Right.
me to have one. But unfortunately, in my world, it doesn't work, and I can't stop every 2 hours pulling a 10,000 pound camper or trailer to get
Nope.
charged back up to
Nope.
go another 2 hours. So anyway, but
No.
then there was a video I saw
No, but
yesterday
you
or
could put a generator in your motorhome or in your trailer, okay, and just have it run and charge the
constant.
battery while
Well,
you're
there we go.
driving.
See, I could do that
That's
because one of my production trailers got a big old 30 was it 35,000 or whatever it is on the front of the trailer. So yeah,
3,500. Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
it would
Yeah,
work, right?
yeah,
Um, but
yeah. That would
then,
work.
but then I turned around and saw, and I should have put this in the chat because it was awesome. Um,
It's okay.
Hummer, old Hummer, not new Hummer, old Hummer
Okay.
versus Tesla truck getting up a hill.
Hmm.
So the Tesla went up, it didn't make it halfway down. Then it came up,
Right.
and it came back down. So the old Hummer H2, like I used to have, pulled
Yep. Yep. Yep.
around, went nose to nose to the Tesla, and backed up the
Yes,
hill
and pulled it up
backwards.
in reverse. Yes,
I'm like, okay, I want my Hummer
yes.
back. I am
I have
definitely
seen that.
That was an
and
awesome
I'm waiting
video.
to see what the new truck does. You know, it was forever to find out the towing capacity on the Cybertruck
Right.
because you'd get, oh, it could pull a freight train. Well, that's not its towing capacity, though.
Right.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
pull a freight train if I work at it hard enough and long enough.
Right.
All right,
Exactly.
that's not the point. The
Right.
point is, what is the actual towing capacity? Because I want to put a damned horse trailer in it.
Yep.
And can I get it with a hitch in the bed? Okay, because that's what we have. We have a
You got a
gooseneck
fifth wheel?
trailer.
Okay.
No, not a fifth wheel, gooseneck. They're different. And so we wanted to, and finally I got it. And it really is like off the freaking charts. It's like 14,000 pound towing
Right.
capacity, which is fantastic. It's all you need for a vehicle like that.
Right.
And
But you'd have to stop
'cause
every 2 hours to get it charged.
that's the problem. As soon as you put the trailer on it,
Yeah.
okay, you lose your 6 hours of drive time.
Yeah.
It
Hour and
drops
a half,
down to
2 hours.
nothing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
It just kills it.
So my
it's
producer,
great again.
hold on. My
for
producer
local
has the
work.
video. Go ahead and roll that video. I love this.
Oh, he found it.
Look, it's like no, maybe. Oh no, let me show you how it's done, baby. In reverse.
This is how we do it now.
And then he does finally make it, which is fine. That we can get out. Just to me, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Let's jump into our thing.
No,
So
I think. Oh, one
No,
more thing about
yeah.
the Tesla vehicles, just
Yep.
so you know, lowest maintenance cost of any vehicle on the market.
including all the other electrics.
Oh, especially all the other electrics.
So are the batteries lifetime?
That's just the overall cost is less than any other vehicle, put head to head. And that is just fun. It's because, the stupid things are just computers. All you have
Yeah.
to do is go in and reprogram it.
Right.
Oh, you got a bad electric motor here. Boop, boop, it's gone. You've got them on all four wheels.
Yeah.
It's not like there's one big engine.
True.
There's a motor on each wheel.
True.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to replace a whole engine if something goes wrong.
Nope.
You
Just
replace a
wheel
single
motor.
motor on a wheel.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
still it all comes down to that battery.
Oh
that-
yeah, the battery is nuts, no doubt about it.
I don't. No. If the battery is lifetime of the car, I'm good. Okay.
Well, and it pretty much is. I know in my old Prius, you remember my Prius?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that was a 2012.
Yep.
And when I let it go in 2023, okay, so it was 11 years old.
Right.
It was still reading 85% full
Holy
battery.
shit.
Yeah.
So all these
there
people
was,
that are
like-
freaking about $20,000 batteries, those are people that are probably just not taking care of their battery.
Well, there really isn't anything to do. The issue is, you have to let it drain all the way in before you charge it again. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a cell phone. I had to do that while you had coffee in your mouth.
This guy almost choked me. That's so
You're
funny.
welcome.
Oh, thanks, man. I
No, but
appreciate
the key on that is A, don't let it get damaged, and B, they used to be 20 grand. Now they're like 3 or 4 grand. Okay, they've dropped way the hell down.
And can
Now,
you
of course,
buy
demand
insurance
is
just
back
to
up
cover
because
those?
we were supposed to insurance to cover if it's damaged. Yes, okay, but sometimes you do stupid shit.
Yeah.
But all in all, the cost of that compared to the cost of having your transmission replaced or
that's
your motor
$8,000.
replaced because you burned it out at 200,000 miles.
Yep.
Not much different.
Not much, yeah.
Daughter blew
Well, that's
out
what I'm
her,
saying.
her
What
motor,
can you? So you know
and
how
it was like $5 grand to replace the motor in her Toyota.
right? So if you
What's the
I wonder
difference?
if you get one of those secondary insurances that cover everything from tip to tail. I wonder if they cover your
Yeah,
Tesla
except they
battery.
don't cover anything in actuality. They say they do. But,
Yeah, I know.
Been
down that
No,
path
you can
before.
almost be guaranteed that the batteries are excluded, but the batteries are going to last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah.
a break. What
You
is
would-
your lifetime on that car? Okay, and so then you buy it used with a dying battery. You pick it up for 10 grand, just like any other used car at that age, and you go in and you drop, 10 grand having the battery replaced and everything else done. Now you got $20,000 car. It's going to last you another 10 years.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
true.
Adam did at AMS Computers for me with my Mac, the one I'm working on right now.
Right.
I brought in my 2015. He put in a 2 terabyte solid state hard drive in it. It's like brand new.
I miss Adam. We're going to get him on at least once a month or something, because
just to pick on him.
Just to pick on him. Picking Florida people, they're easy to pick on.
It's fun. It's fun for you and I to find somebody shorter than us. That's all I.
That is true. I'm just saying. Hey, let's get into the show. So we got some good stuff. We're never going to hit everything now because we've been jibber jabbering for almost 15 minutes. So
they don't know it's not part of the show, John.
Oh,
okay?
That's true. Oh,
it's like stage
crap. Never mind. It's all good.
If they don't know you made a mistake,
right?
You don't have to tell them.
That is very true. Yeah, I always look this way. No mistakes here. So we're gonna jump back on AI.
It's cursed.
I was trying to get you with drinking something too. So there you go. We're gonna get back on AI because you put this in our chat. Everybody knows that we have this chat that goes on. So we talk about stuff all during the week, and then we put a show together. And you said it says the headline says AI kills Photoshop. So we do have a video. We got a little bit of the video. I didn't want to give this guy too much love. But go ahead and play that video.
Right, let's try this. Colorize this photo. Pretty impressive. Now turn this into nighttime with a Milky Way in the sky. No way. All right, what about this? Blur the background of this photo. Very nice. And then what about remove the people in the photo? Holy smokes. Or how about this?
Apocalypse.
Add people sitting in these chairs. No way. This is insane. This AI just killed Photoshop. It's super powerful, it's so easy to use, and it's completely free. So in this video, I'm going to show you all the cool things you can do with it. Now, Google just released their latest version of Gemini 2.0
So
Flash,
let's come back now. So this is from Gemini. And now this is a Google product.
From Google. This is a Google product, which means don't use it.
Right.
Because two things are going to happen. One, they're going to, first of all, they will data mine and own everything you create.
Right.
Okay. Number two, it means that when you go back to use it in 3 months, they'll have dumped it because it didn't make them any money.
Right.
And, because that's what they do. They launch products and then kill them.
And do you have to pay an extra price to be able to have copyright?
No. There's nothing there.
I always go back to that. Because of what I do for a living, when you get this AI generated stuff, you don't own copyright at all.
No. And nobody does. That's the thing.
The creator of the AI does.
No. The AI is what created it. The creator of the AI does not own the copyright. Of what they generate. Yeah. I am 99% sure on that.
Meta put something out.
It's not copyrightable. That's the point. Because it's not technically an original image, no matter how much you want to argue it is.
Well, no, it's not me arguing it.
There's so many lawsuits.
The Meta was the one that said they were going to go after people that were making money off of their artwork. I think it was an article about 5-6 months ago. Because that was the big question online is who owns the copyright of stuff that's created by Meta's AI?
That's it right there. No, here's the problem. Copyright requires a human creator.
Oh.
You have to be a human to have a copyright assigned to you.
Okay.
It's the same thing with patents. See, in terms of patents, it makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
And so therefore, your patent can only be assigned to a human being. That's why corporations don't have patents.
Okay.
They buy them.
Right.
They buy the license. They buy the patent, or they buy a license to use the patent. But a corporation cannot actually create a patent or apply for it or prosecute it, because it's not a human being. It can't be assigned to a human being. So that's why AI art and such cannot be copyrighted.
I mean, we have another image. Do we have another image?
Oh, this thing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this was the next story that I had. And that was, half of Americans using AI. And that is a panic mode for some people, which I think is overstated. It's Straight Arrow News is not usually really clickbaity with their stuff,
No, they're not.
and this particular headline is not that bad.
Okay.
The issue is I'm as an increasingly rabid user of AI in my work projects, I am finding myself becoming more and more sociopathic
Ooh.
the more I interact with AI because I
Okay.
can't hurt its feelings.
I like hurting
So I
people's feelings.
don't
That's no fun.
soft pedal my criticism. I'm like, no, that was utter shit. Try it
Right.
again. Pardon my French. Okay. It's like,
Oh my God,
boom,
Anthony
I can just
cursed.
say it. No, that was completely wrong. You didn't listen to anything I said. Go back and try again. Now, what happens if you said that to Joseph right now? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That would be an awful situation. The problem is the more we react that way, the more we kind of like lose the skill
Yeah.
to be diplomatic when working with actual IRL humans. And that is the part that I find concerning.
Yeah.
Is not that because I tell you what, it is so handy to work with someone
Right.
that works as fast as I do, remembers more than I do, and can give me the data and the references. And although I stop myself from saying thank you, I stop myself from saying good job.
Oh, okay, so you're right, because the other night I told Alexa to clear notifications and you know what I caught myself doing? Thank you, Alexa.
Saying thank you.
I'm like,
yes.
Wow. That's got me trained.
And interestingly, Siri now says you're welcome.
No way. Oh, I've got to try that one.
Siri now says you're welcome. I had it happen once, okay, when I accidentally said thank you. And I'm like, it just threw me. I'm like, where the hell did that come from?
That's great.
But we come from a generation in which those kinds of manners are hardwired.
Hardwired. Yep. Thank
What
you.
happens?
No, thank you. Yeah.
When they aren't, because we're dealing with AI for these interactions. And so it's no longer a norm for our just normal spoken dialogue.
Right.
When we ask for something, we get it, we say thank you. Now it's like you ask for something. You don't say, I sit there, I'm typing out my instructions. Right? Please create for me. Please?
Yeah.
Really? I look at that and I'm like, should I delete that? Do I want to train AI to think I should be polite? and be offended when I'm not?
Right.
I don't know what to do here.
That's what.
So it
wow.
really is.
That's. I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Because we do that. Because I'll when we're using chat or GPT or whatever, Grok, I will put please. It's an ingrained thing to ask when you're asking for help. You say please. Wow, never even thought of that. Well, maybe we'll learn to like us better and won't kill us when they take over the world. You might want to keep doing that, please, and thank you.
That's a big ask. And limit the insults, because you're right. This could have catastrophic. Could be going on like this one. No, he's on the nice list.
He's on the nice. Let's not kill him yet.
Naughty.
Right?
Naughty.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, so I put in this. The Apple hack malware.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think this is real.
A big deal.
I don't.
Oh, it is real. But the problem is
they're going against the Apple side. Because it's a closed system.
No, that's actually not what's happening.
Oh, it's not.
What this looks like is people create apps, okay, and then people create spoofs of the apps, and they send you a text message saying, "Hey, your app needs to be updated. Go here, click here to update it."
Right.
And what you're doing is you're installing a new app that is not actually the real app. So anytime you see anything while you're using an app that says, "Hey, you need to update," click here. If
Ah.
you click on it and it does not take you to the app store,
Right.
then it's not real. And so
So
you don't get the
and
virus.
so sometimes it takes my brain a little bit. The reason I put this one in is because of this very thing. So on our PCs, we use
Yeah.
Messenger heavily, right? So
Yeah.
in the last 6 months, all of a sudden we're getting these, "Hey, you need to update your Messenger app," right? And I'm like,
Yep.
it's up to date. I don't need this. And it's very sneaky. And what it is, it's Windows or it's Microsoft telling you to go get their version of the Messenger app to download. So I did it a couple times, right? I'm like, well, if it says I got to update it. Well, next thing you know, I'm trying to open up, say, like, we'll all put stuff in from Facebook or whatever, and it kept opening up Edge. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is this doing this? This is crap. I don't want Edge. And you go in there, you look through all your protocols and going, well, it Google's is my thing. It's blah 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 blah. No, we'll keep going. So it's like I got to do it. So then I went and looked it up, and everybody is bitching about this. They're like, "Oh, this is a thing." Blah blah blah. Yeah. So what it tells you to do is you have to go into messenger.com, go over to your little dots, and say, create a shortcut link on your desktop. And then it will take you to the actual Messenger Facebook.
Yes.
Like it's supposed to. I'm like, well,
Right.
but you have to go uninstall the Windows or Microsoft.
Then you have to get rid of the Windows pirateware. Which is
exactly.
funny thinking of Windows creating pirateware, but that's what they're doing. I mean, they're trying to reroute it because everybody is in the data theft business.
Yep.
And they all want to steal your eyeballs, but they want to steal your purchase, record. They want to steal your movements. They want to track your activity. They want to know where you ate last night. They want all of this information.
Yep.
And there are about 1,000 apps on your phone right now that track and sell all this stuff, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts.
How many of them? The biggest offender in the group, though, the single biggest offender
Messenger
is Google Chrome.
Oh, absolutely.
Google Chrome. So if you can uninstall Google Chrome on your phone, you will be making a massive step towards privacy. Use Brave as a browser. It's faster. Google Chrome is actually a little bit slow because it's very busy analyzing your behavior and deciding which ads it's going to show to you.
Right. I use,
and so it slows it down. If you have Brave, you don't have that slowdown.
I use Safari still.
So
I like Safari.
Yeah, as a primary.
Yep. And I run it in privacy mode.
I have a few things that I have
only.
to have Chrome for.
Yep.
And it drives me nuts that people optimize for Chrome.
Yep.
Because it is little more than malware at this point.
Right.
It serves no other purpose than to data mine you and sell that information.
Right. And no matter how many times you go and turn it off, it's somehow, some way, gets turned right back on.
Nope. The next time it runs an update, and it'll run one overnight when you're not looking, and it'll reset your settings. The reset your settings is in the user agreement.
Oh, gotcha.
So even though you go in and unset it, it's like, oh yeah, but I'm running update, 62.0001001.
Yep.
And so I get to reset it now. Thank you.
Right.
And that's that. And it's utter hogwash, but c'est la vie.
Right.
That's how Google makes all their money. That and convincing you that the right way to type in the URL that you're going to, even though you know it, is to put it in the search box instead of in the URL box at the top of the screen.
Drives me insane.
You know what a huge percentage of their, fines and searches and everything else they report are because, you are, you're area52tv.com.
Right.
And so you type in area52tv.com. If you type it up in the URL box at the top of the screen, you go straight there. If you type it in the search box, it then searches for them, and then you pick the one, and then Google says, hey, don't you love us? We sent someone to your website.
Yeah.
Well, they freaking typed in the damned URL in the first place.
Right.
You didn't send them anywhere. You actually sent them away from my website. Okay,
Right.
you didn't send them
Exactly.
to me, but they take credit for it, like there's some kind
How
of
good we are.
saviors
We're
for
really taking
giving
good
you
care of
business.
you. Right. It's crazy. It's dumb, actually.
It's
Very,
like
very dumb.
they create the issue and then claim they're heroes for solving it.
Right.
Wow, that sounds a whole lot like
Well,
government.
we're going to jump.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we're going to jump. So I want to come back to the COVID thing, but I think we're going to jump to the privacy and apps
Sure.
because that we're on that subject anyway.
Yeah,
And I think that's what my
exactly
producer
it.
was tickling my ear about. Hey, let's
Your ear, yeah,
we'll
rock
come
and
back
roll on that one.
So privacy and
the
apps.
one with
We
John
have a-
Stossel.
Yeah, we have a video for that.
Do
Yeah.
you know that through the apps on your phone, government spies on us? You should worry about that, says privacy advocate Naomi Brockwell.
When you downloaded this app, you gave the app permission to access your camera.
In this previous video, Brockwell told me, I've foolishly given up my privacy to tech companies and the government.
You've probably given location permission, you've given microphone permission.
In that short video, I didn't have time to include some of her good points.
Let me have a look at your phone. I want to see what apps you have on your phone.
What she saw made her
Rocks
say,
on this.
If I were you, I would delete almost all of these apps. First of all, because
I like them.
I know you like them, but you're taking your phone around with you everywhere you go. It's an intensely personal device that sees where you're going. It sees every person that's in the room with you, every person you've connected with. It has a microphone, a
What
camera.
should I delete?
Right off the bat, Google Chrome. This is a terrible app for privacy. Google Chrome is notorious for just collecting every single thing that they can about you. Chrome is a browser, which means it's kind of like your gateway to the internet.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, you like having a gateway to the internet, but do you like all of that information being collected and then broadcast to thousands of different companies? Because Google is not really a search engine, the same way that we used to think of it as like Google, we can search the web. It's an advertising company. So Chrome is collecting every single thing that it can about you, and it is broadcasting that to thousands of people to see like who wants to bid on the opportunity to, be in front of this man here. Google is auctioning off your eyeballs, essentially, to advertisers. But it's not just advertisers who are collecting this information. There are thousands of shell companies, of shady companies, of data brokers who are also collecting it and in turn selling it. So the run-on effect from using something like Chrome is huge because it means that so many people then get access to your data. I would delete it. You don't need it. Something like Brave works way better.
Brave is a browser that's just as good and doesn't collect this information.
I would say it's better because it doesn't collect this information.
And it works a little bit faster because it doesn't deal with all the ads and the record keeping.
Exactly. Every time you load a web page, there's that split second before everything gets loaded because there are these little empty boxes all over the screen and Google's busy auctioning off those eyeballs to all of these people who want to fill the boxes. So there's lag time. There's bandwidth that gets taken up through this process. And with Brave, you can block all of this. It's fantastic.
What else?
We're sensing a pattern here, but Google Maps. I would delete Google Maps.
But I need Google Maps.
So you don't. You actually have an iPhone here and you have Apple Maps on there. So Apple and Google both collect a lot of data, but
Well,
Apple
sometimes
is...
one is better than the other. I like having both.
Well, Apple is way better when it comes to privacy. Google is
But
tracking
what's better at
everything.
finding where I'm trying to go?
Well, Apple is actually, I say, on par with Google now. It didn't used to be. It used to be kind of bad. But in the last couple of years, it
So
has...
just have fewer of these.
Have fewer of them. But Apple actually goes out of its way to try to anonymize your data. It doesn't store in its databases your exact locations. It uses this technique called fuzzing.
Good. What else?
Oh gosh. You've got Gmail
Facebook.
on here. That's another. They're all Google.
But I use Gmail.
So I would stop using Gmail.
What should I use instead?
There are lots of more private email alternatives out there. Proton Mail is a great one. Tutanota is a great one. There are many others. The difference between them is that every email going into your inbox for Gmail is being analyzed, it's being scanned, it's being added to a profile about you. Google has a terrible track record.
As soon as you connect to the internet, Android uploads to Google a complete history of where you've been that day.
I've made videos about that and asked,
Is Google doing creepy things to us?
the answer is yes. Google's former boss says.
There's what I call the creepy line, and the Google policy about a lot of these things is to get right up to the creepy line, but not cross.
Holy crap. If that doesn't scare you right there, that's why I use my own
I mean, a
mail
lot of people
service.
don't think about it,
No,
but
they don't.
I have seen medical practices that are using Gmail.
Yeah. That's crazy.
HIPAA. If you are not paying for a professional Gmail address, okay, which blocks their advertising, then you are, every time you send an email, you're violating HIPAA.
No.
And, I mean, I have clients set up on, a private dedicated server. They have, it's locked, it's bound. I can't even get service on that. I have to do all the service work myself because I cannot get the server company, GoDaddy, to, they cannot sign an associate's agreement, which they would have to do, which would make them responsible, because if they get onto that server, they might be able to find some, protected information.
Right.
And people don't even think about emails, and they all do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yahoo, Google, Microsoft, all of those things. They all scan your emails to look at your buying habits. My God, they love it when receipts come in because it tells them everything about your psychographic makeup.
Yep. So the only way
it's
around
nuts.
the only way around that on your phone is, and I know Olin has one. I have one at the house. Is a phone. It's a Faraday phone pouch. It's wearable. So if you don't want to be tracked, right? You put your phone in there and you take it everywhere you with you. And when you need to use it, then you pull it out, use it, put it back in. It became, because a Faraday,
the moment
it's not
you pull
passable.
it out,
That's fine.
yeah, but the moment
They
you
find
pull
my
it out,
location,
it
that's
automatically logs in where you are.
That's fine.
It's your choice. I mean, the other option, turn the phone off.
Oh, no. So John Stossel did a thing. Okay, so boy, we're going down bunny rabbit holes, right? So Stossel did a thing about 3 years ago, I think it was, and I don't try to find it, Joseph. I'm just going to tell everybody that they took a phone that was on, and they took a phone that was off, right? Put them in a backpack, and then walked all over New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Got back, opened it up, and they had some kind of reader that that could tell.
Yeah,
turn
was watching the data being
right.
uploaded.
So the data being used with the phone on with the phone with the phone off, exact same tracking data as the phone on, unless you pull the battery, which you can't with an iPhone.
No, you can't.
You are still tracked. Your phone's never truly off, ever, unless it's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it dies with no power.
Okay.
So, and that was the
even then, darn well there's a little backup battery, just like on your thermostat at the house. Just because you lose power doesn't mean your thermostat.
That is
off.
correct. So that was the show that got me. And Olin, it's OLLIN.co, is the one that got I literally have a Faraday pouch that I can carry with me that puts my phone in it. So no data in, no data out. Yeah, when I use it, they may find out where I'm at that point in time, but they didn't track me.
Yes, but that's your call.
Yeah.
No, that sounds a whole lot like my car. I love having a car made before 1983.
Oh God, yeah. You kidding me?
There is no tracking it at all.
Nope.
It's how are you going to track a 4-cylinder Ford, from, 10, 15 years before they started putting chips in cars.
So you have an extra distributor cap and electronic ignition sitting in your garage. So when that day happens, you just go put the new one in there, and you have a battery and a Faraday cage, and now you got a car.
And now I got a car.
I'm looking at a
exactly.
72 Ford
Actually,
F100.
no, the fact is, on the older cars, the EMP won't affect them.
It won't. The electronic points. Oh
Nope.
shit, that's awesome. I'm
Nope.
looking at a 71 F150.
No, it fries the computers in the new cars. That's what it really does.
Oh, I thought it
And
messes with the
so
distributors as well.
in the old cars, no, the old cars are pretty much good to go. No, they ran some tests like 5-10 years ago, and they found anything older just sailed right through.
Nice.
The newer it got, the more likely it was to have an
the
issue.
worse it got. Yeah. Well, I can see that.
Yep.
Absolutely. So,
Yep.
but anyway,
way too much electronic
so
crap. What's next, John?
it's amazing how much they really do track us. I mean, it's crazy. So the last serious stuff is we're going to talk about the COVID ventilators. Oh my God. And I was saying this back then, and people were like, "You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe you would say that. You know, I'm a doctor." And I had people in the hospitals telling me, "Oh, it was," and I was right.
People killed.
You're going to get people killed and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we're all still here.
Yep.
And the ventilators made it worse. Worse.
It
was
is
nuts.
no. And the issue is ventilators themselves. It's not that ventilators and COVID were magic together.
No.
Okay. It's that ventilators in general have a serious problem with creating pneumonia.
Right.
And that's why they are a weapon of last resort, and they should only be used in a case where you absolutely cannot breathe. And they were doing a couple things. One, because they were all panicking, many people were throwing people on ventilators that didn't need to be on ventilators.
Right.
And then that is what created the side effect of killing people, okay, because they were on ventilators. If they had left them off the ventilator, many of them, they would have been okay.
Right.
Because it didn't actually get to that point where they needed a ventilator. But because, I hate to say it, because when you throw somebody on a ventilator, the hospital gets paid a lot more.
Oh, hell yeah. They make a ton of money. And on top of that, you're putting the moisture. And the reason ventilators are bad is because when you have to breathe out, it's not just to breathe in, right? So as you're breathing out, your hot air is fogging that mask up, right? So now you're putting the moisture that you need to get out of your lungs back into a system that's being recaptured right back down with the fresh oxygen. Well, now you're putting moisture on top of moisture on top of moisture. Well, guess what that's going to do? That's going to make your
guess
walking
how much
pneumonia.
Germs love moisture.
Oh my God, horrible.
Okay.
I mean, and it was just nuts.
I don't know what we're allowed to say here. Are we?
We
still
can
out
say
on YouTube?
whatever we want to. This is my damn station, so it is what it is.
Okay, because here's the thing. I worked in germ research.
Right.
I know how this stuff works.
Right.
Okay. And if you are wearing a mask, first of all, let's just take COVID, okay, because it is what it is. The COVID virus particle is so small, it goes in through an N95.
Right.
The N95 doesn't stop it.
No.
Okay, it's like throwing trying to stop a shotgun with a chain link fence.
Right.
Okay, you're out of luck, buddy. Okay, that's not going to happen. And so what happens is it goes in. But everybody talks about, oh yeah, but it gets attached to, moisture particles, and then it becomes droplets, and those are too big to get through. That's right. And where does it get wet?
Inside your freaking mouth hole.
Once it's inside, it then gets attached to the moisture particles and then can't get back out of the mask.
Right. So now it gets trapped on the internal liner of the N95 mask.
Then you breathe in again. And what happens? It goes deeper.
Yep.
And then you breathe out, it gets stuck again. And then it goes deeper. And then it gets stuck again until you have made your own infection worse by wearing a mask.
So
That's
when
why
I-
when we had mask mandates,
Yeah.
the first thing I would do, I would walk out the door and whip off my mask and take huge, deep breaths of fresh air.
Yep.
With all of the cases of COVID, there has never once been a single documented case worldwide of anyone catching the virus
outside.
outdoors.
So
Not one.
as an old paramedic, we
Yep.
had to learn, we had to know the OSHA rules, right? Did you know
Oh, sure.
that CDC had OSHA go in and change their stance on wearing a mask? So as a paramedic, right? Or as
Yep.
my friends who were welders and sandblasting guys, these guys were never, ever, ever allowed to be in a mask for more than 30 minutes. Ever.
Yeah.
Because of the viral
Hypoxia.
effect. Yeah. So you would get that crap back in, but yet they wanted you to walk
Well,
around.
you get the crap back in, but then also hypoxia. You wouldn't get enough oxygen.
Right. So
Okay. You were
and
rebreathing CO2 and it wasn't being able to exit the mask.
I had
You
an
had to
old
take it back
OSHA.
off.
I had an old OSHA manual because I keep stupid crap
Yeah.
like that. I went back and
Yep.
found that, and then all of a sudden they were, well, OSHA says this, and the CDC says CDC had OSHA change that rule, and they and they made it online, but then they redid it, and it was such a lie back then. I don't want to get any further because if all I'm going to do is I'm just going to rail, and I don't want to do that because we have some fun stuff to talk about.
All right, let's go do fun stuff. But now at least we've had a chance to talk about germ theory.
Yes,
Let's
germ
go.
theory. It's awesome. So you remember I had a small rig for my iPhone that I was showing everybody.
Mhm.
Check this
Yeah.
out. So I do think it is from Small Rig that came out with another one. They have got a small rig for your iPad.
Oh yeah.
That is a little badass right there.
That is amazing.
I'm
And,
telling you,
I mean, the new
it is
iPads
killer.
are
It-
incredible 4K, and having the image that big is so handy.
Oh, yeah.
I use mine with the teleprompter app.
Yep.
And I love it. But now I've actually built a new teleprompter, so I don't need it anymore. And I should get that out here and show it to you.
You should.
Maybe next week.
Pictures.
Yeah,
Just give me
it
pictures
came out
and we'll
pretty
show it.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
I haven't updated my the only iPad I have is an iPad mini. Now it says 4K, but there's no way that that's 4K. I've looked at the footage and I'm like, that just absolutely sucks. So I am gonna get myself
It's
a new one.
0.4K. We just
Point-
scratched off the dot.
That's probably it. I do want to
Yeah.
get one, and then I'm going to get one of these small rigs because I bought one of the hard drives that go on the back of your iPhone.
Yeah.
So I don't eat up my here. It all goes on that, and I'm
Nice.
in. I'm totally in. Matter of fact, I'm probably next week after we have a Bigfoot event in Desmont, Georgia, at Piedmont University
Yep.
on Saturday, and then next week I've got to go to Ocala. But you're more than welcome to come down to Ocala
Yep.
if you're down that way. But I definitely want to get into these small rigs. So and then because we're Area 52, we have to be, we're going to show that, they on the ISS, they saw an alien. It was so cool.
Yes.
I mean, what a great
Oh,
way
it's
to,
true.
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and show that footage real quick.
I
What a
actually
great
would've-
way to do
would've run it
this.
a little differently.
I
There
mean,
we
it's
go.
like
Proof. The
they're
truth is out there, baby.
They're out there, baby. Oh, yeah. We look at you. That is so
Let's go through food consumption.
freaking cool.
We went through all our supplies for the day one. So bags 301, 302,
To me, that's
303,
awesome.
304
What a great
are
sense of
empty.
humor.
Yeah. And
It's
you know,
probably,
I mean,
it's probably Elon's idea. Come back now. That was probably Elon's idea. I'm just saying because
those people up there have they made a like a collective speech, and it was really cool because the astronauts that were trapped specifically thanked Elon Musk and Donald Trump for getting them the hell out of there.
Yep.
And so it was media blackout.
God.
Nobody saw it.
And
Nobody saw it.
I feel bad for those guys when they come back. they're going to be at least 2 to 3 months worth of rehab.
You know, it's one thing to be up there because they do have treadmills.
Yeah.
And the treadmills have like bungee cords to push you down.
Mm-hmm.
And you can exercise. You can. It's all you know the isostatic stuff with basically bungees. Because that's all you can do. Because weightlifting is pointless.
Yep.
Yeah.
No gravity.
All you're doing is fighting inertia.
Right.
And so being able to do those things, yes, that works. But your organs are what really mess up.
Because they have to
your
get
blood
rearranged
flow,
coming back
all
down.
of that, because there's been no resistance, no hard work.
We're just all getting all goobity-gobbity everywhere.
Yes. And so, yeah, there's issues there. And the muscles, regardless of how much you've been, pumping rubber, it's not going to be the same. When you come down, your joints are all wrong.
Yeah.
And nothing is where it belongs.
Yeah.
Because there's no... Now, it could actually be good for you in a lot of ways, because a lot of what we go through is compression. I had a friend who was 7'2". I used to say he was 6'14". And when you measured him in the morning, he was 7'2.5". By evening at bedtime, he was about 6'11.5".
Because of pressure.
The weight and the compression on his spine. He shrunk 3 inches during the day.
Dang.
And, they actually have you hang upside down in order to decompress your spine.
Right.
So although we think about all the, the bad parts of coming back, because they are the most immediate and, I would say visible, but, obvious symptoms, there are some really good benefits to having that kind of complete 0G decompression on your skeletal system. Your synovial fluid has time to actually get ahead of the game. And you may have been heading for bone on bone and not knowing it.
Right.
But because there was nothing in there, your synovial fluid actually had time to refill.
Right.
In your joints. And so I can only hope that's actually, an upside to this. And although I would not advocate somebody hang out for 8 months because they were busy spending the money on, DEI workshops.
Right.
Which is what happened, by the way.
Yep.
Their mission purpose was sacrificed for DEI workshops.
Right. So, okay. So now we're going to go to old tech, right?
How old?
Well, I mean, it's today, but so I love watching these guys take down these massive
trees.
Today
is old.
Yeah, I love watching these guys take down big trees. So there's this guy.
Oh yeah.
This is a hinge cut, right? And I had not seen it.
Amazing.
Go ahead and show that stuff.
No.
This was.
What's interesting is I saw one today about, watch Dad try to take down a tree. And when he did this part and then cut the back and then he put a wedge in it, it still went completely sideways.
Yeah.
Because you can't overcompensate, for a whole lot of imbalance.
Right.
You got to take off the top of the tree. And had he done this, he probably would not have crushed his neighbor's fence.
Yeah.
Because this is absolutely stunning until it's done. There we go. That's done. Yeah. Almost done.
Oh my.
Amazing.
I could watch guys like this all day long because I just find it fascinating.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
And then this. I mean, he doesn't even run. He just stays right there.
No. He doesn't have to.
All done.
Whoop. Down it goes.
Is that cool?
Absolutely in the right direction.
I love old
Absolutely
tech.
in the right direction.
Old tech to me is just phenomenal.
People know these things. And, it used to be you had to know the person that knew it in order to learn it. Yeah. Now at least you can see this stuff on Facebook.
Right. Not that I'm going to run out tomorrow and try this. I'm just saying.
Maybe. No, I don't have any trees of that size that have to come down. I do have a Bradford pear I'll be taking down out here. They're highly invasive. Oh my God, they're so beautiful.
They are beautiful.
They
for
are
like
the first trees.
3 weeks.
And they're all white.
Yeah.
And
We
they're
have them everywhere
gorgeous.
here. Yep.
And then they stink.
Yep.
When they get towards the second half of their bloom,
Oh,
it smells like rotten flesh.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is awful. And the problem is they're incredibly invasive.
Yep. We have them everywhere.
You can drive down the roads here in the back countrysides and you'll see them growing in the forests. And they are going to, they're like kudzu trees.
Yeah, when we drive through the mountains, it looks like God just went and put little Q-tip here, little Q-tip there, little Q-tip there, little Q-tip here, little Q-tip.
I'm going to snow here and snow here and snow here.
And people plant these things because they're beautiful for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And then they're
my
then they're
whole
horrible.
town.
Yeah.
Our whole
Gross.
town,
It's
all
gross.
of Main Street is lined with them.
So
I can't walk on Main Street, come mid-April. I have to avoid it because it smells
horrible.
so bad.
And they don't clean it up.
Yeah.
It'd be different if they swept it up. So remember when we brought the show back, and I want to do some. I love these, and I know some of them are probably right, and some of them are probably wrong, but it doesn't matter. We're going to play this right here. It says origin of phrases that we use. I love these things. I love these things. So we're going to go ahead and play that real quick, and then we've got one more redneck.
Big caveat. They may not be accurate, but they sure do sound interesting.
They do. Go ahead and play that back.
Phrases we still use today and where they originated from. In ancient times, the pupil of the eye was referred to as the apple because it was considered a precious and vital part of vision. This term evolved into a metaphor for something or someone cherished above all else, giving rise to the phrase apple of my eye. In ancient times, the phrase highlighted the importance of familial bonds over other relationships, stemming from the idea that shared blood signifies stronger connections. This belief evolved into a saying that emphasizes the enduring strength and loyalty of family ties, leading to the phrase, blood is thicker than water. In the early 20th century, fairground games often awarded cigars as prizes for winning. Participants who came close to winning but fell short would be told they were close but no cigar. In medieval times, travelers often encountered many bridges on their journeys, each posing potential challenges. They learned to focus on the immediate path rather than worrying about future obstacles, leading to the phrase, cross that bridge when you come to it.
That is cool.
That is 100% AI generated.
Oh, absolutely.
In ancient times, I'm like, dude, I resemble that remark. Okay, knock it off.
It's just amazing, that we use terms. And if you ask people, they're like, I have no idea. I just use it. And I'm like, okay, you know what it means, right? They're like, no, what does it mean? Then you tell them what it means. They're like, oh crap. So, all right. So the last thing I'm going to talk about,
ask somebody what a crock of shite is.
Yep.
They have no idea because they don't know what a crock is.
Right. Exactly.
People don't know that it's a giant ceramic dish for pickles. Yep. Okay? They have no idea what a crock is. So it's a giant bucket, but people have no clue what that means. No, there's a bazillion of those. Go ahead. What else we got, John?
So last one we have is this is redneck ingenuity to its finest. Right? So let's go ahead and play that video because I'm telling you, dude, if I had a one wheel, I'd do this in a heartbeat.
What? That's crazy. Can I see it in action? Yeah. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
Okay, John.
I want to go find one of these one wheels just to do this.
Okay, except here's the deal. An e-bike is about $800.
Yeah.
That one wheel is about $3,000.
No, he bought. I went and looked into it. He bought that thing for $500. Found it used. Someone was trying to get rid of it.
Okay, well, good for him.
He replaced the battery.
But a brand new e-bike is still only $700 or $800.
Yeah, I love my e-bike.
Why not just buy the big tired e-bike?
I know.
But hey, you know what? It's ingenious.
Yeah.
He had the bike frame. He bought that thing that he can't ride.
Yeah.
And so he turned it into something he could.
Redneck ingenuity, baby. It's at its finest. To me, it's like, holy crap.
Limitation is the absolute most important ingredient to creativity.
Right.
John Ogilvy said it best way back when. He was an advertising, genius, art director, all this stuff, Fifth Avenue kind of advertising guy. And he said, God, grant me the freedom of well-defined boundaries. Because it's within those boundaries that we learn to be our most creative selves. I used to do a thing with my kids every night, for bedtime stories. I never read them anything. What I would ask them to do is give me 3 things, any 3 things, and I would make a story out of it.
Smart.
And it didn't matter. They'd say peanut butter, picture frame, and Godzilla. Lo and behold, I would make a story out of those 3 elements. That was the limitation, and that's what works so well when you see something like that. Well, I have a bike frame, and I have this one-wheeler that I can't ride.
Right.
What can I build?
What can I make out of it?
I'm still trying to figure out how to make a hovercraft, out of a leaf blower, and
that'll be good. Jetpack one.
And a classic car.
Oh, geez, there you go.
It's not working.
That's a hover car, but okay. So, hey, look, if you're watching this on Area 52 TV, we thank you very much for watching this. We are going to eventually have an area where you can actually donate to the channel. But if you're watching us on Patriot TV, then you need to go over to the Patriot store and buy some stuff over there from the Patriot TV people, because they don't pay us. We don't pay them. It's just one of those things where our show's on there, and support, we want everybody to support everybody's channels. So with that being said, if you want us to look at something or talk about something, go to area52tv.com. You can go in there and you can reach out to us there, and we will be glad to talk some. And you know what, everybody, we'll see everybody next week on the Tech Shamans.